welcome to the program that is used on ABS radio and television as Oruji. The active involvement of citizens in governance processes, especially in ensuring good governance, is imperative for the prosperity of the society. On this news program today, we shall discuss various ways citizens can contribute to achieving or ensuring good governance and what government can do to motivate the citizens to be a part of good governance. And of course, in the studio, we have Honorable Dr. Timothy Ifedeorama, legal practitioner and public affairs analyst. Dr. Ainasiri, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And we also have Dr. Azubike Nkala, Head of Department Mass Communication, Paul University. Okay. Doc, no.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. Happy Sunday.
Good governance. Yeah, is your teaching. How can we ensure good governance? How can the citizens contribute to ensuring good governance? Can you only have good governance? Honorable Dr. Timothy Ifedeorama.
Well, good governance, as the name implies, is simple. A system of government where both the governed and the government itself are doing well in terms of providing the essentials to each citizen, according to Section 14, 2B of 1999 Constitution as amended, which states clearly that the entire purpose and duty of every responsible government is to provide for the welfare and the security of the people. So once that is done, I go good governance when it was unless we're
let's look at the processes of ensuring good governance. We can see results.
Okay. Good governance is when the citizens legitimizes their government as catering to their needs. The citizens, as you know, are the people that make the government. During elections, they vote in a government they want. During certain election, they vote out the government they don't want. So, the processes is that when a government is voted into power, what the citizens, what the public expects is good governance. And what then is good governance? Good governance is a government, a combination of the executive which implements the law, the legislature which promulgates the law, and the judiciary which interprets the law. When these three coordinate and safely independent organizations of governance combine to provide infrastructure for the people, then that's good governance. Then when they provide a enabling environment for the citizens to actualize themselves, often the environment the opportunity to become a millionaire. Often the environment to provide the necessary infrastructures in order to get to any level. Then often that government provided the environment the conducive for him to actualize himself in terms of building his career. So when we talk about the process of good governance, we are talking of the process of providing one, infrastructure; two, enabling environment to make people to actualize themselves; three, the issue of providing for the rule of law, which means the citizens must obey the law. Otherwise, the state will become a state of brigandage. And in Africa, we have been struggling to come out of brigandage. Unlike the Europeans say, "Toga go na go mad." Say, "Toga go na poverty na emezi mad." Call that na street nwụọ. But anyway, we are still rising to the level of superstructure where the citizens will say, "This our government is good because it is providing what we need in the society." That is the process.
Thank you, Dr. Azubike Nkela. You've touched almost all the questions here, but specifically, Dr. Timothy Fedor, the rules, those rules, the citizens should undertake in ensuring basic things.
Yes, which of course I call citizen participation. These are part of the enablers. They can causes all those things. But today, I think citizen participation is perhaps what is lacking. Lacking in the sense that can be actually go down a little bit before I proceed. There are 3 levels of such citizen participation or participation in government to ensure then we're good governance. One, both the political, aspect, the civil and the social. Now, the political, which is of course if of the election, we should participate because that our participation is very important. Happens the fact that now maybe now we cannot say now our votes don't really count, but that should not deprive us, that opportunity to make that change. At some point, it will begin to count. So the political participation is very important because that is when we vote in those we want and vote out those we don't want, just like, our dog now. But then the civil aspect, part of that, if any, and participate. Now, the political other aspect may engaging in legislature when we find out more, public hearing. They help in decision making. They model. They help. The legislators in coming up with, policies or ideas that will help in their making of laws. And those are part of the thing I need the legal name. And then of course the civil, I need as citizen, input tax, obey the laws, follow the laid down rules of the government. Then the social aspect, both our responsibility too on one another, because if I don't watch out for dog and dog don't watch out for me, then we're not helping the government. Now, government in itself is sometimes a very minute number out of the entire large population. And that when I say go for 9 government. Because my part must be seen, I must play my part so that it will enable those people that is saddled with that responsibility to function well. It's just like the security, agents and all the officers. They are not spirits. Part of our participation in giving them information to help them to do their function very well. So the citizens, sometimes I would say, point in every government. Well, I'm not absorbing the government from anything I go to government. I'm guilty as charged also. But the truth is, government, I need government. We have our own part to play. And most of the time, the people, that very little number, some lapses, But that should not take our own aspect off. Because when we do that, like Prof. Uku, the brigandry or civil disobedience and all of that will never help to grow the society. And at the end of the day, upper the masses, when we use the word masses, I hate to add poor masses, all the masses, which is the general public that will really suffer, the consequences for such irresponsible actions. So citizens have their own role to play, and that we must not, put down. We must begin to highlight that and make sure that now every citizen rises up to his or her responsibility.
The program is used on ABS radio and television, and today we are looking at the roles of citizens in ensuring good governance. The role of citizens in ensuring good governance. What are those things that citizens should do to contribute to good governance in the society? And we have in the studio Honorable Dr. Timothy Fedorama, a legal practitioner and of course a public affairs analyst, and Dr. Azubike Nkala, head of department mass communication, Paul University, Oka. Dr. Timothy Fedorama, when it comes to citizens' contribution, or when the nature no government for launching, and what are there no kiri small things, they are obedience to the laws of the land.
Yes, like I said earlier, all the very important. Maka asino fuaka nalo alujebe for others are nalo nebino. Like I've said, I'm not making excuses for the lapses I in our government, and of which I am proudly backed. Unfortunately, we didn't do too well. We are not doing too well. What I mean by that, I mean the very few of us find a rely in our government at one point or the other. So I believe in collective responsibility. And when we can make my own well, others didn't do their own. So as not other, I need that. Having said that, I want to also make this clear. Now, majority or the bigger part of ensuring good governance, the citizens naka in various ways. Our electoral processes they flawed, but that is one big sledgehammer I as citizens. Is when a change your chichi in camera. Unfortunately, onara gache to question, but we must not stop, or giving because now I feel and we're electoral flaws. We must participate actively, in the part of it. By being part of it, I also vote to another. No, you vote to somebody in. You also have the responsibility to follow the person up to ensure accountability. Oya boy fake the pan even over a election on your Burungo another. They represent mere elect or mere famous. You should always engage such a person. When I was a legislator, I went town hall meeting. Now people can attest to that. Where I interact with my people. For now, because I am not a residual of knowledge. Nambo, their representative doesn't mean I'm wiser or more educated than them. All policies, more laws, more motions or bills in Gacho is studied, is sponsored. I will engage different fields of, of studies to ensure that I come up with the best and all Stenaka citizens gonna be. So, holding your elected people into account is part of your responsibility. Idobi wo bodo, that part of it is helping the government, is helping the next person. The professionals now where your right stops is where the next person's right starts. And so ị ga na-respect that. Then, of course, ị ga-agbakwa mbọ n'onwe gị na-akwụ tax like I know kịta, because that's part of your responsibility. Also, government. No, we also have our own part to play, you know. Then, of course, when we are doing all of those things, on na-enyekwa aka ife na aga nke ọma, not, you know, disobeying, you know, laws is very, very key. It's helpful. Ịgba mbọ fụ na ị na-eme ife ị kwesịrị ime. Watching out for government installed services like electric poles, all these government those things are your responsibility. They use their name. If you transformer, I get vandalize in a government na wetara ọkụ. Manobo ụmụazị je vandalize ya, and ụfọdụ mgbe anyị maara ụmụazị na-eje vandalize ya. Oh, we are nonchalant about, you know, those amenities, the few amenities government provided. But in New Year, I celebrate New Year. I check out the main road. The quota is rubber. Osieba Onelipu, Moberoge, Wepoto. If as a city's government, they are not doing anything. That look at our roads. Some of these things are part of our responsibility, you know, in ensuring good governance. So, Canada go there to I know for them.
Dr. Smike Nkala, please, more of those things that government should do to motivate the citizens. Say, but government go for that Christmas. And man, I gotta tell and the man will never twist. Make and young medicine, you see the walk, and you see, may I gonna lose everything. Those things that government should do. These basic things.
Well, the responsibility of government is enormous, and they should do their responsibility. One, if you begin to itemize it, you find out that the day will not permit us. One of the basic method of motivating the citizens is by providing roads. In so many communities, we don't have roads at all. So you hear drivers talking very ill of government. Why? Because their tires and their engines and everything, their shock absorbers are being destroyed because of bad roads. So government should motivate the people by providing roads. One, urban water infrastructure. In fact, in Anambra State, with the exception of boreholes that individuals have decided to provide for themselves, government has no greater water scheme. Government should provide water in the urban areas to motivate the society, to motivate the people. Then, when we talk of enabling environment, we are talking of, I thank God, the Anambra Capital Development Authority. They are doing a good work. But they started doing the good work very late, and that's why people are complaining. If you now stay at St. John of God in the old road, you can look straight and you look at Paul University. Why? Because the unnecessary structures that cover the street have been removed. People are complaining. The first governor that we have here, Navy Captain Abulu, he said, if you are going to take omelette, if you are going to eat omelette, that you must break an egg. So if your egg is so precious to you, then don't dream about eating an omelette. So the provision of beautification of the urban infrastructure is good. The present government is doing it. We like it and we encourage them to do it. Then another way to motivate the citizens to be able to pay their tax is the issue of employment. Government should employ the army of people. In fact, at the last count, we took a statistical analysis of all the people that are employed in Nigeria. We came to the point that unemployed Nigerians are about 78 million. If you Google the National Office of Statistics, you will see it. And when you have the universities producing these people and none is employed, then the society has a problem. What the government should do is, one, they should open up the service for employment. Two, when they have problem, if government has problem, they should call a town hall meeting. When government calls a town hall meeting, then they will have opportunity to express themselves. Tell the citizens, we have this program we want to do, but we don't have money. Our annual budget for this is that, and it cannot take. And when you do that kind of town hall meeting, the people will begin to develop empathy. And when the people develop empathy from you, you find out that you are on the same page with the citizens. Government, I'm not just particularizing to Anambra State, I'm talking of the 36 states of the Federation. The government should call town hall meetings and tell the people their problems. Like my friend said, government is not a Father Christmas. It's serious business. The president of America that replaced that replaced Nixon, he said, at his opening speech, he said, the business of government goes on. So it's a continuum. When the government feels that they have difficulties in certain areas, call a town hall meeting. You can bifurcate this in such a way that you call the professionals, ask them, this is what we want to do, we don't have money, what can we do? You call the teachers, this is what we want to do, what is your suggestion? You call these itinerant service providers like Okada people, call them to a town hall meeting and tell them, this is what we want to do for you, but we don't have enough money to do it. How are you going to come in and then assist? You see, when government begins to speak for itself from its own inside, government should not wait always for people to criticize them. Government should, from inside, then tell their own story. And when they do, you find out that the citizens will now develop empathy. And then when they empathize, they will now see that government is not that executive that is in government house, that they are also part of the government.
The government is not a ghost.
Yes, and then they will begin to help.
I want to go. 30 seconds. Advice. 30 seconds.
The Nigerians, let us be proactive. When we find out be proactive. Na Nigeria anyị adịrọ proactive at all. Ife anyị na-eme na Nigeria bụ kama m ga-anwụ ka ndọniba ụwa bụ ndọni.
Suffering and smiling.
That is the syndrome in Nigeria. And that's why so many people just die. And because people die and they are buried, nobody remembers them again. As citizens, let us do our duty to government, pay our taxes, pay our rates, then make demand from government. We have a right to make demand from every facet of the society. Anyị nwere right, anyị kwụcha tax anyị, kwụcha ụgwọ ndị ọkada na afa niile, ka anyị nwa citizens make a demand.
Obey the laws of the land.
Obey the law and then demand what the government should do for you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Osman, 30 seconds.
We are blessed people, and ọka ịgba mbọ na-eme nke anyị ga-emenwu rapụrụ Chineke ndị ọzọ. God bless you all.
Thank you. I want to appreciate you, Dr. Matsubike Nkala, Head of Department Mass Communication, Paul University, Oka, and Honorable Dr. Timothy Fedorama, Legal Practitioner and Public Affairs Analyst. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you, everybody in the house, on behalf of them here. And of course, my producer, Don Onyenji. I am Eze Omoji. I wish you well. See you again.